Right now, two different individuals are seated at their kitchen tables, intently staring at their investment accounts displayed on screens. They share the same city, the exact same age of 41, and comparable annual incomes around $110,000, while having diligently saved for over 10 years. The first man holds a balance of $983,000 and refreshes his account every single morning as if it owes him some important explanation or extra security. He recently accepted an unwanted project because the additional income still felt absolutely essential for his current situation. He carefully examined his account balance before booking a flight for his sister's birthday celebration, even though the numbers already looked perfectly fine and sufficient. He still double-checked it anyway due to his long-standing habit of caution. The second man crossed $1 million 4 months ago, but still refreshes his balance every morning with a different mindset. When the market dropped 4% last Tuesday, he simply watched it, calmly shrugged his shoulders, and went to make himself a fresh cup of coffee. He turned down a potential client project in September simply because he did not like the work involved, not because he needed extra funds or desired luxury purchases. For the first time in his adult life, he truly did not have to accept every single opportunity that appeared. These two men live in the exact same city with very similar incomes, but their net worths differ by $17,000, creating completely different financial realities in their everyday lives, despite the relatively small numerical gap between them. The surprising element that truly changed between them was not what most people would normally expect at all. Something fundamental and structural shifts deep inside your financial life when you finally cross that important $1 million threshold. This important shift does not appear in your daily lifestyle choices, it is not visible in your salary level, and it does not show up in the furniture inside your house. Instead, it occurs deeply in the underlying mathematics of your entire financial existence. Once you truly understand what actually transforms at this point, and what frustratingly stays exactly the same, you will either feel very relieved about your future path or experience a specific kind of frustration that this was not explained much earlier to you. My name is Bob, and I spend a considerable amount of time analyzing money matters and trying to understand precisely why certain specific financial numbers have such a profound impact on people's everyday lives and decisions. If you are currently working hard to build up toward reaching this significant $1 million net worth milestone, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button right now for more valuable insights. Today we are going to thoroughly break down and explain exactly what genuinely changes in your life when you finally achieve $1 million in net worth, and what aspects remain completely unchanged. Most individuals who are steadily building toward $1 million experience a particular type of constant low-grade financial tension in their daily existence that never fully disappears. This tension is not actual poverty, but it involves always checking your account balance before agreeing to any vacation or major purchase to confirm you can truly afford it without any financial risk. It includes doing complicated math calculations in your head on Sunday nights to decide if you can max out your IRA contributions or if unexpected car maintenance bills will interfere with those important plans. There is also a slight pause before ordering the more expensive item on the menu, not because $4 truly matters, but because that small amount is where the habit of constant watching lives on. You avoid taking the lower paying job that truly excites you because the risk calculation simply does not clear in your mind at this stage of building wealth. You say yes to things you would much prefer to say no to because the financial margin needed to comfortably decline has not yet arrived in your life. Here is what nobody tells you clearly enough: there is a specific number at which that constant background calculation finally goes quiet, not forever, but noticeably quieter than before. The first thing that changes at $1 million is not your life itself, but the invisible ceiling that has limited your decisions for years. The word millionaire has lost so much of its original meaning that it barely registers anymore for most people today. Based on the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances reaching $1 million in net worth places, you approximately at the 88th to 89th percentile of American households. The top 1% starts around $13 to $14 million. So 1 million is not the ultimate finish line, but it is real rare and significant. The median American household has a net worth of only $192,000, meaning you would have more than 5 times that amount at this milestone. The average age of an American millionaire is 61 years old, and only about 2% of millennials have crossed this important threshold so far. Here is the part that usually surprises people. The Ramsey Solutions national study of millionaires surveyed over 10,000 people who reached this level. 79% received zero inheritance, 1/3 never earned 6 figures in a single year, and the top careers include engineers, accountants, teachers, managers, and attorneys. 75% said their wealth came from one main thing: regular, consistent investing over a long period of time, while they simply lived their normal lives. Here is the single most important thing to understand about reaching $1 million in invested assets at a 10% average annual return. A $1 million portfolio generates $100,000 per year in average returns, which is more than the median US household income without any extra effort. Your portfolio, just sitting there not requiring a single hour of your time, now earns more per year than most American families bring home from full-time work. Compare that to where you were before at $100,000 in net worth. The same 10% return only generates $10,000 per year. At $500,000, you are earning $50,000 per year, still below median household income, so the jump crosses a major threshold. The 4% rule from William Bengen's 1994 research says withdrawing 4% annually gives a 95 to 100% chance of never running out of money over 30 years. On $1 million, that equals $40,000 per year without lifting a finger, not a yacht, but enough to stop checking accounts before saying yes to simple things like birthday flights. That is the actual value, not luxury, but the specific freedom from the low-grade financial anxiety that most people carry every single day of their adult lives. Researcher Michael Kitces found something even more remarkable. In the median historical scenario, after 30 years of those $40,000 withdrawals, the portfolio ends up at 2.8 times the starting amount. Charlie Munger said the first $100,000 is a beach, but you have got to do it. And he was right. That amount is the first real inflection point. But $1 million is where the acceleration becomes genuinely hard to believe, as the numbers start to work much faster in your favor. Meet Marcus. He is 41 and has been saving $2,750 per month for most of his working life. Meet Marcus. He is 41 and has been saving $2,750 per month for most of his working life. It took him roughly 15 years of discipline and not buying the truck to finally reach $1 million in net worth. Keep the exact same savings rate and return. How long does the second million take? Only about 6 to 7 years. The third takes 4 to 5 years. One Boggleheads member documented hitting 1 million in 2010, 2 million in 2013, and 3 million in 2015 with the same income and contributions. The machine just runs faster as it gets bigger because the portfolio growth accelerates dramatically over time. Marcus' portfolio is now earning $100,000 per year at 10%, while he contributes only $33,000 from savings. His contributions are now less than a quarter of total portfolio growth. To match what his $1 million earns through savings alone, he would need to put away $8,333 every month. Most people cannot save that much, but the portfolio does it automatically every month, whether Marcus is paying attention or not. The narration in anglais is when Marcus checked his account that Tuesday morning and saw 7 figures for the first time, he expected to feel different, more confident, more certain, some version of arrival. What he actually felt he described as like the background noise, turned down a little, not off, just lower, which if you have been running that noise your entire adult financial life is not nothing at all. The low-grade financial tension that most people carry begins to ease noticeably once that $1 million mark is crossed, even if daily life looks similar on the surface. Decisions become freer because the constant background calculation that once dictated every choice finally starts to quiet down in meaningful ways. The power of compound growth turns your money into a productive force that works harder than your own paycheck ever could. With the 4% rule safely applied, you gain the ability to withdraw a sustainable income without worrying about depleting your principal over decades. Historical data shows the portfolio often grows faster than your withdrawals, allowing it to end much larger than it started after 30 years. This milestone brings a subtle but profound sense of relief from the constant mental math that once dominated every financial decision. The $17,000 gap in net worth creates completely different daily experiences, even with identical incomes in cities. Market drops no longer cause panic because the portfolio has reached a size where temporary fluctuations feel manageable and less threatening. Saying no to unwanted work becomes possible without financial fear because the margin of safety now exists in the numbers. Refreshing the balance still happens, but the emotional weight attached to the number has noticeably decreased over time. Reaching the 88th percentile of American households means you are now in rare company, even if it does not feel like the top 1% yet. Ordinary careers like teaching, engineering, and accounting built the majority of millionaires through consistent, long-term investing. Regular, consistent investing over decades is what quietly builds the machine that eventually runs itself without constant effort. Your portfolio now generates more passive income per year than most households earn from full-time employment. The jump from $100,000 to $1 million multiplies your returns tenfold and crosses the threshold where money works harder than you do. $40,000 per year can be withdrawn safely for decades thanks to the proven 4% rule, without depleting your principal. In many historical scenarios, the portfolio actually ends larger than it started, even after 30 years of steady withdrawals. The second million arrives in roughly 6 to 7 years, once the first one is reached, because the growth machine speeds up dramatically. The same savings rate produces faster results as the base amount grows larger each year through compounding. Portfolio growth now outpaces your personal contributions, making the money work more efficiently than ever before. The background financial noise that once dominated your thoughts finally turns down, creating a subtle but real sense of relief. You gain the ability to decline opportunities that no longer align with your values because financial pressure no longer forces every yes. Simple pleasures like booking a family flight no longer require double-checking balances because the margin of safety now exists. Consistent investing over time is what quietly builds the foundation that eventually lets your money work harder than your daily job. Most people reach this milestone later in life, but starting early with discipline can bring it much sooner than expected. Being in the top 12% of households gives you a rare financial position even if it feels normal day to day. The vast majority of millionaires built their wealth without any inheritance, relying solely on their own consistent efforts and investing. $100,000 in annual portfolio returns changes your relationship with money forever because it exceeds typical household earnings. The 4% rule provides a high probability of financial sustainability, allowing you to live off your investments without constant worry. Historical scenarios show the portfolio often continues growing even after decades of withdrawals, creating lasting wealth. Once the first million is reached, next ones arrive faster because compounding works with a much larger base amount. The constant low-grade financial tension that once ran in the background finally turns down, creating noticeable mental space and calm. Decisions about work, vacations, and opportunities become based on preference rather than necessity once the math of your life has shifted. The real transformation happens in the mathematics of your finances, not in flashy lifestyle changes or sudden salary jumps. Your portfolio now does more heavy lifting than your paycheck ever could, creating a fundamentally different relationship with money. Understanding this milestone early helps you feel relieved about where you are headed instead of frustrated by missing information. Regular, consistent investing while living your normal life is the proven path that quietly builds $1 million over time. The portfolio becomes more productive than you are earning substantial returns automatically every single year. 15 years of steady saving and discipline can get you to 1 million, but the acceleration after that point feels almost unbelievable. The background noise of financial worry that has run for your entire adult life finally turns down a little, creating real peace of mind. If you have been running that constant financial noise your whole adult life, even a small reduction in volume is not nothing. It is a genuine and welcome change in how money feels in your daily life.